Big day here in Las Vegas at the Nevada State Athletic Commission as three of the sport's biggest superstars had to stand before the court this morning. And it started with Khabib Nurmagomedov for his role in, of course, the infamous UFC 229 brawl back in October when he leapt over the cage following his bout with Conor McGregor. Now, a very stiff penalty for Khabib Nurmagomedov, 9-month suspension and a $500,000 fine. That leaves him to return in July. Afterwards, Anthony Marnell said, listen, yes, we realize this is a stiff penalty, but we believe the actions were very severe as well.
When I read this in general, you know, the fine is heavy for misconduct, but the misconduct was also heavy. Unlike anything that I think I've ever seen since I've been here.
Now, one caveat with that ruling: if Nurmagomedov wants to take part in a public service announcement, an anti-bullying campaign, he can get that sentence knocked down to 6 months, which would allow him to return in April. Not sure how likely that's going to be. He does celebrate Ramadan right after that, which keeps him out of competition. So probably looking at a July return for Khabib Nurmagomedov at the earliest. Now, the flip side of that equation, of course, was Conor McGregor. Now, Conor McGregor took a less active role in that brawl, and the commission pointed that out, but he was in the brawl nonetheless. For him, 6-month fine as well, $50,000 fine, much smaller amount for the man who started this rivalry but was a little bit less aggressive in the finish of it.
Yeah, I think what I was characterizing is, he was on the ground against the octagon. He's exhausted. He's done. He's been submitted.
Right.
He responds to obviously defend what's happening. He takes the first swing. At that point, they're both brought back down into the cage. And then Abu Bakr comes at him, and other people are coming from behind him, and he's just getting hit from everywhere at that point, trying to defend himself.
Right.
And the different choice that he could have made, which no MMA fighter is going to do, was just to sit there and not go engage. And I understand in the sport they're never going to do that. So that is why he's here today. If he would have not done anything, he wouldn't be here today. Right.
So both of these two superstars will be cleared to return to the cage later this year, potentially setting up a rematch at some point. We'll have to see about that. The bulk of today's hearing, of course, though, was Jon Jones. After UFC 232 was moved to Los Angeles on 1 week's notice, the commission had to set forth their own rules to decide if they'll license him for UFC 235, set to take place on March 2nd. Hours of testimony were heard, experts weighing in on basically the commission wanting to find out, how do we know for a fact that Jon Jones has not continued to cheat after an initial finding of an adverse result?
In your opinion, he has not ingested this drug since, not knowing when he took it, but you know for sure since July 28th of 2017 would be your professional opinion?
I think it's very important, when I use the word that I see no evidence, and so I see no evidence of use after that. That's all I can really tell you, is that I've seen no evidence that there's been any exposure or administration after that.
In the end, the commission decided that they'll do it on an interim basis. Essentially, he's got a 1-fight license. Jon Jones will compete at UFC 235. He does have to pass several drug tests in the lead up to that, and the NSAC made it clear they want the results of those tests right away. Moving forward, they want to see Jon Jones tested at least twice a month for the remainder of 2019, and to see all those tests come back clean, or as clean as possible, with as low levels as metabolites as possible. At that time, they will reevaluate and decide Jon Jones' future moving forward. What you need to know now: Jon Jones will compete in the main event of UFC 235 against Anthony Smith. Where we go from there, still yet to be determined.